comic book fans? Welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. Now, we have quite the pick of the week. It almost didn't happen. So let's get right on to the pick of the week. From DC Comics, we have Batman, Battle for the Cowl #1, written and drawn by Mr. Tony Daniel. Now, as I said before, it almost wasn't picked. It was a good thing it was a light week for comics for me, or else I would not have picked that up off the shelf. I picked this up. It was so good. Oh my goodness. Where to begin? We have Squire, Robin, Nightwing, the Birds of Prey, Batwoman, Batgirl. They all make an appearance in this issue, and they're all trying to keep Gotham under control, because since the people have found out that Batman's not here anymore, gangs have been running rampant through the streets. Penguin's gang and Two-Face's gangs are fighting against each other, and not cutesy like dance moves like Sharks versus Jets. No, this is blood, innocents dying everywhere. And in the middle of all this chaos, we have a guy claiming to be the Dark Knight, doing all the things that Bruce Wayne would have done, including fighting techniques, the weapons he uses. But in the meantime, we get a breakout at Arkham Asylum. The inmates are on their way back from the bus. Black Mask makes sure they don't get there, and he releases them. He says, "Now you're gonna work for me, and do what we want to do," and blows up Arkham Asylum so no inmates can go back. So now just to throw more chaos out there for the poor guys trying to keep everything under control. Tim Drake and Nightwing, they both keep on asking each other, like, who's going to put up the cowl, who's going to wear the cowl, who's going to be Batman, because one of them has to be. And in the end of the issue, we find that Tim puts on a Batman outfit just to do some investigating of who this Batman might be. And then, meanwhile, we have Damian joyriding in the Batmobile, gets in a little trouble of his own, and Nightwing has to come rescue him. But anyway, at the end of this issue, Nightwing and Damian get saved by the one who's calling himself Batman. He has quite the bitchin' uniform, and he has guns a-blazing. Okay, now let's do the math here. Has guns, knows all of Batman's moves, does all of his techniques, has a couple of his batarangs. The only person that comes to mind is Jason Todd. And we knew that Jason Todd was going to make an appearance in this miniseries, so my money is on Jason Todd as this new Dark Knight. So, like I said before, great issue. I really had fun with this, and it just completely takes me away from Grant Morrison. This is just something new, something great. I can really sink my teeth into this miniseries. Now, on to the Fast Five. First up, from Marvel, we have Captain Britain and MI-13 #11. Now, Mr. Paul Cornell has been doing a spectacular job so far on this series. Ever since the Secret Invasion, all the way up to fighting against Dracula and his vampire missiles that he launched for the moon. Anyway, these rocketed vampires, these vampire missiles, they are targeting the MI-13's key players, and the holder of Excalibur, Fazia Hussein, they go for her family so they can take Excalibur out of commission. Well, unfortunately for them, she makes it, and now MI-13 is trying to regroup. They thought that Blade would be the only one left, and that's how the vampires were going to torture him by saying, "You're the only one left. Now what are you going to do, huh? Huh, punk?" And at the end, we find that one of the MI-13 members has to submit to Dracula because she has no other choice. So I've been having an insanely fun time with this series, and if you really want something good and original, and if you're a Brit, you should be really proud to have Paul Cornell writing this series for you. A jolly good show, as they would say. Next up from DC, we have Green Lantern Corps #34. Now, Mr. Tomasi has not stopped bringing it, because in this issue we have Mongol versus Archillo. And you think it's going to go one way, but it's non-stop slaughtering of the entire planet, of the population, huge amounts of property damage. Also, these two big thugs can battle it out. And just when you think Archillo's going to win, Mongol comes back and tears out his tongue. Disgusting! And Mongol says, he's not going to die, but from now on, Archillo shall be only seen and not heard. So very creepy that, I'll let you live, but now you can't talk anymore. So, take that. Meanwhile, we have a Red Lantern in the science cells. His name is Vice, and he has a whole little mask over his mouth so he can't spew his plasma blood acid stuff. And Scar, the renegade guardian, finds this to be the best time to have a breakout of the Science Cells to create utter chaos on Oa. So tune in next issue for some serious shit hitting the fan. Next up from Vertigo, we have Scalped number 26. Now this issue focuses on the backstory of Diesel. All we know so far is that Diesel was 1/16th Kickapoo. Even though he's white, he was very proud of his heritage, but no other Indians or Native Americans would take him seriously, and he always have to prove it to them that he was worth it. Well, we go back to when he was a little boy, just living with his drunk-ass dad, and getting the shaft from a couple of Indians who say, yeah, you can join our tribe, little warrior, but you got to give us $50. And then after, after he gives them the $50, they don't come through on their promise, and they go, whoa, 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 you can't be all violent against us, now you're going to have to give us another $50, or else we're going to kill you, pretty much. And so, Diesel takes care of two birds with one stone. He calls the cops, and kills his father, and says they did. Quite the evil little bastard, even back then. And then the end of the issue, we find Diesel in prison as he's going through his whole backstory. And just to prove it to the other inmates that he is a mighty Kickapoo warrior, he scalps one of the inmates. It is fucking insane because it's just a holy shit moment. That's all you get on the last page is going like, any other motherfuckers want to mess with me? It's like, whoa, okay. Leave this guy alone. He is not friendly. He is not a cute puppy. Even though he's white. Next up from Marvel, we have the Immortal Iron Fist number 23. Now again, we have Danny in the gladiator arena, battling villain after villain after villain in the 8th city, trying to get the backstory on how the first Immortal Iron Fist got here. Well, apparently, the Immortal Iron Fist and the weapons existed even back then, and the first time they all came together to stop the 8th city, one of them had to sacrifice themselves to make sure the gates closed. That was this Iron Fist. So, Danny and the other tries to contact the other immortal weapons and tells them of this story in Morse code, because these guys have been down there so long that they wouldn't recognize it. But the leader of this whole kingdom knows that something's up, so he tortures Danny, burns the symbol off his chest, and in the end he says, okay, well, we'll make this interesting. It'll be a battle to the death between you and your friends and the old man. But turns out the old man isn't so old after all, as he all of a sudden transforms into this muscular old guy. And I have a feeling that Danny might get his ass kicked next issue. So that was a cool revelation. Mortal Iron Fist is not slowing down whatsoever, and if you stopped with the Fraction Brubaker's run, you should be ashamed of yourself. Get right back on this horse, because it's going off into the sunset without you. And finally this week from Dark Horse, we have B.P.R.D. the Black Goddess number 3. It's kind of like Starship Troopers meets Lord of the Rings in this issue. You have the frogs, you have the trolls that are that have been underground all these years, fighting against the B.P.R.D. and the Yetis that are protecting Gilfried and his little hidden city. Gilfried, you get a little bit of his history on how he came to be a part of this whole mysterious city and how he became the leader and how he could control fire dragons. And there's so much carnage going on with the frogs and the trolls from the underground city that the only way to stop them is with fire dragons, and that's what you get at the end. He transforms the toads' tongues into these majestic dragons to help kill the reinforcements. And it is just a stunning issue. It makes me so excited for this miniseries because the art, the story, all of it's coming together and really packing that powerful punch that B.P.R.D. has always been throwing. So, that does it this week for Camy's Comic Corner. If you want more Camy's Comic Corner goodness, go to www.camyscomiccorner.com. From there you can subscribe to us on the RSS feed or on iTunes. And remember, if you live in the U.S. and you leave an iTunes review, send me that review and your shipping address to camyscomiccorner@gmail.com, and I will send you an assortment of comics. Easy as that. Also, if you like any of the t-shirts that I'm wearing, like Scalped, for instance, head on over to www.deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. He has a variety of comic book t-shirts, so you'll find something. There's something for everyone. And also, the deal going on for the month of March is free shipping for any order in the U.S. So, you can buy one t-shirt, 1,000 t-shirts. You're going to get free shipping either way, if you live in the U.S. So, for more comic book t-shirt goodness, go to www.deadlinegraphics.net. So, until then, this has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I have been your host, Cammy. Huzzah!